Okay. By the way, let's just check. The most important part is to find uh, the game by the leaders, right? So, for example, this is the game. Okay, I need to open the rounds breakdown. Sorry, too many screens to look at. So Shashi, Jayakumar, Suliang. No, that's the previous round. Give me a second. It's the wrong one. So Shashi is playing on the first board with black against
Yeah,
Leonard Go, right?
yeah.
And that's officially the first board today.
Mm.
Okay, and we will probably start right about there. And after that, we will probably go through quickly through the NTU games, and we will switch to Ministry of Health. Okay, I think
Okay.
that would be the agenda. But yeah, in the beginning, so just maybe by way of introduction, so I'm joined for round four by Legion Wei. Maybe you can say a few words about yourself.
Okay. Oh, now.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, hi. I'm Junwei, and I was in the chess national team for a few years, but now I'm in the army, so my hair looks like this. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I'm uh glad to be here, and this is actually my second time commentating, right, Andre? I think we
Yes,
had the
yes, yes. You already joined me, I think, for online Olympiad.
yeah, online Olympiad, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I'm really glad to have you here. So
Mm,
with this, let's start looking at the first match that we have the top board as we were breaking after round three. So we have two leaders. We have NTU, Nanyang Technological University, and we have Ministry of Health, and they are just tied their match in the previous round very dramatically, and now they are playing in against different teams. So we'll start with NTU, and we will go around like board one to board four. So right now we're looking at the game Leonard Go versus Shashi Jayakumar, and it's I have no idea what was there. Trampovsky, right?
yeah, from Mosky. And
Uh,
then I think it became I think black looks quite good now. Just the pawn and d4 is not very
yeah, yeah. I think like probably White didn't really want to let kind of break the pawn center and kind of isolate the pawn, and I don't like the pawn on f3. So I think black is perfectly fine. I think probably a little better because like for white just to complete development is going to be okay. Like you probably can do that, right? It's like bishop
yeah.
bishop d3, knight e2, but I think it's probably going to be about equal, right?
Mm.
So yeah, so that's the first board, and I think it will be probably a long game by the looks of it. So we will be able to look at that later on. So let's move to
Mm.
board two, where Arvindan is playing black against Alexandru Krivoy.
Oh,
Uh,
the position is like I mean
I have no
the
idea
way it looks
where it's coming from.
I mean it started as Italian but black
Bishop
played d5.
Bishop d6. Wow, that's unusual. I mean, not
But
say
you have no choice, right? After bishop d5.
I am not actually. I think actually, like by looks of it, if black can keep the center, it would be okay. But I don't think. Wait a second. Did he just lose the?
Yeah. It's losing a piece, right?
He's losing a piece indeed. I think this is. Yeah. After he allowed d3, d4, and that was
Yeah.
probably already bad, right?
Yeah.
So from here on out, I'm pretty sure like Alexandrov is going to convert it. So like extra pieces more than enough for him. He's a strong player. Okay, so let's move to board number three. So David Chong against Jude Fronde, and wow, it's some kind of English.
English. Oh, this with H5.
And black was playing very aggressively, like h5 and
Hmm.
bishop h3. So what do you
But
think about this position?
I don't think there's much for white to really worry about, right? As long as you don't let black sacrifice on g4. Like
I
there's
think he needs
no,
to play like h2, h3 now anyway, right?
yeah. So you just play h3 and then king h2 maybe. I don't know. It feels like there's not much attack really.
Yeah, but okay, it still looks like a little fluffy, like the pawn formation. Like let's say white plays h3,
Mm.
right? Like there is a weakness like on black squares, dark squares around the king. Okay, it's not that you can exploit it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Um, although, by the way, how about like if I play after h3, I play e5, e4.
Then knight f4, right?
I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. No, I didn't see that. But yeah, okay, like my idea was I try to kind of explode it on the king side.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
But I don't
okay.
think it works now.
No, it doesn't. No, I think okay, so let's it looks like it's going to be also one long game, so we will hopefully we'll be able to get back here. And the last board is let me see if I can find it here.
Roy Tan is white and
Roy Tan is white, and it's probably sorted by name. So here we are. We're looking at it, and
so it's like
it's what like white has a
white
pawn,
is
right?
like yeah, but I mean it's still a lot of pawns, I think.
Um,
Mm, I mean theoretically it should be a win, but I think there's a lot
yeah,
of
I mean, a lot of
tricks.
things can happen. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
at least it has a pawn and no compensation for that. So black. Oh, wait a second. F5. So it was black to move. Actually missed it. So
Yeah.
F5. Now you need to be really like you don't want to play. You don't want to allow rook g2, right?
Like you can play like I think it's not so bad, right? You can just play like rook c1 and then knight c3 afterwards.
Yeah, but okay, rook c1 you need to see actually.
Okay,
Yeah. So okay. Oh no, he did
but
play it. Okay, he just
rook endgame is there's too many pawns for it to be a
yeah,
draw,
no,
right?
yeah,
So
no.
kind
I think white is really like much better, so it should be winning somehow.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So this one is the only position where we have really kind of clear advantage. Okay, no. Also, the other way around. So on NTU is probably better on board number 4, completely winning on board number 2, and the other two boards are kind of equalish. Like we don't know what they can go either way, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like NTU is in good shape in this match. So let's move to the next one and look at the Ministry of Health, which is like the other team that is fighting for the first place. And let's start by the game by the Legend. So
I mean like
he's just
two
winning.
bishops up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just like what? He's oh, look at that. He's actually I even missed that he's 2 bishops up. I was thinking I was bishop for a rook. No, okay. That's a gunner.
Two bishops up. Yeah.
We can switch to the next one. Yeah, and actually, black just resigned. We were just in
Next
time.
one black just resign after. Huh? Wait, why did black resign?
No, I mean, Suli Yang. Oh, here.
Oh, as in the second game also black resigned, but that seems wrong.
It should be the other way around. After rook a1, actually,
Yeah,
black
white
black
should
can,
resign, right?
black can take on a1, and that's it.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure what happened here.
is this like a bug?
I don't know. Why did it resign? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe. Wait a second. Am I looking at the right game? Give me a second. So,
Mohan as white,
yes.
right?
But
Yeah.
why rook e1? What on earth has happened here?
I don't know. I think he wanted to play like the gambit, and then he forgot that the bishop is on b4. Because in the gambit, white plays through e1, right?
I'm not sure. No, I cannot explain it. We're guessing here. By the way, there was also like even exchange like good game and stuff like that. You too. I'm checking on chess.com like on that game.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there. Okay, we can ask after the round, but okay, that's weird. Let's move to board number 3 in the same match.
Okay, this is quite an interesting game.
So Lichi and Aaron is playing white, and
black.
Hans Huang is playing black, and I think white is. Wait a second, white is piece up, right?
White is piece up. Yeah, but for one pawn.
For one measly pawn. But okay, the only thing you can say is that white pieces are all like kind of in a kind of cramped in the right corner. So yeah, that's a bit weird. So like you can probably play e5, e4, try to create an attack or something like that. But okay, it's a piece. So and let's say if white just plays knight g2, knight. Oh, I mean, okay, rook a8 is definitely too slow. Now we can play even like knight e5 maybe.
Yeah.
Put that on c4 and it's all under control. No, white must be winning.
White is.
So we don't know what happened in the previous game, but that was weird. That was weird. But actually.
Actually, if you look on move 18, right, after white play e takes f6, can black just not take with the queen? Then the attack quite strong. Yeah.
That's a good one. So your suggestion is at this position take on. Yeah, like I actually didn't even check. Wow. D7. You need to check D7. Oh no, it doesn't work. Check and rook D6, right?
Yeah, just then. So it looks like.
Yeah, that's lost for white. So after queen f6, so yeah, it looks like black missed a really nice opportunity here. And I'm not really sure.
But now white just blundered a piece back.
Sorry, I was not looking.
Queen, yeah, white blundered a piece. So white played 20, queen b5, and then the knight f3.
Okay, so yeah, okay, that's a lot of changes over the last 2 or 3 moves, right? But okay, so now we have now white is really struggling because the material is equal, and the king is in big danger.
Yeah. So
I would say like something like rook c8, rook e8. And it's probably going to be tricky for white, or maybe even like I don't know, knight e4. I don't want to exchange the knight because maybe knight d5. How about knight d5?
Yeah. Knight d5, and I think bishop d4, but
and then rook c8 after that.
Oh yeah.
Knight, okay, he just played knight e4 instead, so which is not as strong probably. Okay. By the way, after knight e4, can I? Oh, sorry, they're playing too fast. Could I pin the knight?
Queen d5.
Yeah, that was.
Queen d5.
I think it was working, no?
But you can go queen f6.
Yeah, you can. The same trick, right? So you take, and then. But I think it might not be as strong. Like I take on a4, you take a check, you give a check, or maybe you don't have to.
Then. So queen f6. Queen takes e4, queen takes b2.
You don't even need to take on b2. You know that, right? So like after queen f6, queen takes e4, you can actually first try to cut off the escape route, like rook d8.
Oh, okay.
Because
I mean,
queen b2, I don't think you can prevent it, right?
c3, you can
Well,
try it, but I mean,
it looks scary.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I would do it, honestly.
Yeah, okay. So
I
like,
think
okay.
just taking e4 is much safer, but at the same time,
Yeah, no, I mean, like, okay, I think we already agree that like that was too smart for my own good. So, oh, look at that, and did he just blunder the bishop anyway after rook ac8? Oh no, he walked into. Okay, I see what happened. Okay, so yeah, okay, there are a lot of blunders in this game. Let's move on to the fourth board, if we can find it. The same
okay,
team, fourth
yeah,
board.
white's just a piece up here.
Yeah, and I don't think there is probably what, one pawn for that, not much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a.
Yeah, white is just winning. Okay,
Should we circle
so
back?
so it's actually the only game which is going for MSE team, so for Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment, right? So white is winning here. The previous one, okay, like the previous one is where black is winning, is also actually winning for Ministry of Sustainability. So I think on first two boards, Ministry of Health is winning, but on the last
They
one,
won already. Yeah.
oh, they won already. Okay,
Yeah.
that was quick.
And
Yeah, okay, Sulian, exactly. And that strange blunder. Okay, so they won, but I think they can actually tie the match if.
Yeah, because the last two boards are winning, right?
Yeah, it looks like they are. So, and that would make it even more interesting going into the last round because remember, like we only have 2 rounds left. So, if this match is tight, then Ministry of Health is going to drop back. So, again, assuming that NTU is still winning. Maybe, by the way, we can go back and check that. So, second board won.
First board, second board won. First board still playing. Third board, still playing.
Maybe we can look at them.
Fourth board, okay, fourth board is gone.
So let's check. Let's check them one by one, top to bottom. So the first board, so Leonard Go versus Shashi Giacomo is
black is one pawn up.
Yeah, pawn up. What happened? Okay, so like I think at some point he just lost that. Oh, look at that. That was actually interesting. So there was white continued developing, but then something happened and he lost the pawn. I don't even know how exactly. Okay, so he.
Oh wait, okay. It was a blunder, I think, because
I don't think he had to give it.
Yeah, because after 1995, white has quite a lot of options, right? Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I think black is a pawn up, but it's actually not so easy to. I don't think it's actually that easy to convert it though. There is a little bit of like rook c7 is coming, although obviously like a pawn is a pawn. Maybe play, I don't know, f5 or something. You want to prevent rook c7 somehow, but I don't see how.
I mean, you can try like bishop b7. I don't know if you want to exchange rooks, but I mean exchange bishops and get rooks in game. But it seems that the white bishop is stronger than the black one. So.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely, rook on c8 is bishop on c8 is not doing anything. That's for sure. Okay, so that's the first board. The second board is 1. So NTU scored the pawn. Sorry, a point, of course. Third board. Wow, look, third board is really. Wow, wait a second. The king made all the way from g2 to c2 in the meantime.
Yeah. I mean,
wow. That's a lot of marching. And after that, they closed the. I don't like actually f4 that much. I mean, I understand why you want to do it, but let's say, yeah, after. So white just played knight g1. Black needs to play knight g5, I think, right? Because like if white gets the h3, look at that. He just decided to sack it. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. So you cannot take it. Well, you can take it, but he will be back on h2, and he has more pieces there. And you cannot really afford not to take, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think you can try like bishop d2, rook e1, rook e2, something like that. But I think here black is definitely
no, but like you will play knight h4, rook g2, and like you just busted in your h2 is falling.
That's true.
And you cannot also, by the way, I just realized you cannot. I was thinking like take, and I was thinking rook h8, but black has a stronger option. He can play knight h4 and win f3 pawn. Yeah, which is much worse. So let's say queen h3, take, knight h4, and I think white can just resign essentially. Well, not don't have to, but it's really bad.
I think it's a little bit safe though. Like you can try to just play. I mean, there's no choice, right? So you probably just go bishop d2, and then rook e1.
So bishop d2, knight h4,
rook e1. If rook g2, then rook e2. Just like try not to immediately lose.
Right. I don't think it's gonna work somehow. But okay, black needs to work. You're right. I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
It's probably more tenacious. Like black still needs to break through somewhere. You're right. So bishop d2 and
knight takes h3. I mean,
that was played.
I guess. Yeah. So after bishop d2, knight h4, white played knight takes h3, which seems wrong because now black just gets everything, right?
But how?
Rook g2, I guess.
I go back.
Then
I go
knight
back.
g1, then knight. Knight g5.
Yeah, but you are not threatening to win on f3 immediately, right? And I can.
Actually, no. I'm threatening like knight h3, right? So I can get my queen there. Does that work?
I don't know if that's winning for you immediately. Okay, but so it's actually interesting, knight h3. So interesting. Actually, I didn't realize you can do it. Look at us. Knight h3, rook g2, knight g1, and US knight g5 you're offering, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I can also play knight ce2 at this moment.
Oh, that's true.
And then I can play, maybe the next one will be bishop e1 coming. And your knight on h4 is a little bit, so you have to take on h2 then and open the g2 square for your knight.
Oh, knight g1, rook takes h2, and rook e1 was played.
Give me a second. I'm too slow. I'm looking at two different. I'm looking at two different screens here. So sorry. Yeah. Rook e1. So he's actually doing kind of a similar thing that we were discussing, just like he exchanged h2 and h3 pawns, which probably is to his advantage. If he doesn't lose anything immediately, it probably was a smart thing for white to do. It's still black. It's dead.
I mean, of course, but now it's not about trying to. I think now it's just trying to get to a playable position, right?
Yeah, and I think you can probably. I also worried about, like, at some point, black will play rook h1 and start threatening on f3, and that's going to be unpleasant. But maybe it's still not the end of the world. Okay, so that's a second board. Let's just make sure that we are not missing anything else. Let's have, sorry, third board. And the last one was already over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so basically white won. So NTU scored the point. So like they 2-0, and yeah, so it's actually, it's really now down to these, and they are better on the third board, and I think they're better on the first board. So I think we can kind of uh, we can kind of expect NTU to win this match for sure.
Yeah, probably at least 3-1.
Yeah, like I think Shashi is winning f5 now. Like if you're looking at his position, he's probably going to pick up another pawn now with f5,
Yeah.
and 2 pawns is going to be way more than needed. Oh, he didn't do it for some reason. Maybe I'm missing something, but I thought f5 was strong enough.
F5, you can take on F5, right?
I didn't
I
see
mean,
that.
you're not winning a pawn.
No, but if you take on
actually,
f5, rook d6 check then.
oh, rook 6. Oh, yeah, so you
I'm
can't
winning
do that.
rook.
Or maybe
Or
he didn't want to play F5 after rook d6.
yeah, maybe he
There's
that
no
maybe that's the
differential.
plan. Yeah, maybe that's the plan. But I
Yeah.
think that's okay. Now f5 after king e3, but then king f4, and you're back to the same thing. You will need to defend the rook with another one. Either way, so I think they are winning. Let's go back to look at Ministry of Health match and see if they. So they actually lost on board 3. They did
And
lose.
board 4.
And board 4 as well? Yep, they lost on board 4 as well. So that match is drawn.
Yeah.
So that means that NTU will be going into the last round as a favorite to win it all. I would think so, because they will be definitely looking like they're winning the match. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's probably what's happening. And most of the games actually are over already. So we can probably look at the only other game that we didn't cover, which is still ongoing, which is on match between Ministry of Defense 1 and 2 teams, the last board. So
okay.
Victor Huang, Jeffter Yell. Jeffter Yell is white.
Okay, white is an exchange up,
but 2 pawns, and he just missed, by the way, a chance to win back one of them. Like after
yeah, like
he could take. Yeah, exactly. So if you are going back to 2 moves, white could take here on g7, and probably that would have done it, I would think, because like the bishop, by the way, for black, the problem is that he just exchanged it actually. So now black is actually very comfortable. Because the bishop was useless with all the pawns on white squares.
But now it's like,
yeah. He's also threatening knight d5 check. Let's see if that's not going to happen. Probably not. But I've seen strange things. Now you can still play knight d5, right? And you're winning the pawn on f4. So black is pushing. Black is definitely pushing in this game. So, and it's also like I always like to think of, like these games between 2 teams from the same, representing the same organization, right? So I don't know what's the score there. Let me double check. Maybe they already published the score. No, they did not. Right? But I think like now it's definitely white is, struggling for survival in this game.
I think so. Yeah.
There is actually one more game that is still ongoing in the next match. So Ministry of Home Affairs 2 and 3, again, like kind of a derby, if you know what I mean. So first board, and I'm pretty sure, again, like I'm not great with names, so I think Mohammed Shahrunizam, Suroj Limbo. That's the game.
Okay, but like a piece up, yeah.
Yeah, and not just a piece up. I think he's also like a couple of pawns. So black is probably winning here, unless something is blundered.
I don't think so.
No, yeah, like g4 or just exchange and then start pushing the pawn. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard to lose here. I mean, to make any.
I could do it. Believe me, I could do it. Yeah, I was quite a few of those experiences myself, especially in Blitz. Well, it's not bliss
Okay.
actually. The black has still a minute. So, by the way, so let's maybe get back to the game. Look at that. Let's move back to the game in a top match, right? So these David Chung versus Jude Fronda. Something really crazy happened while we were away. So it's the third board of NTU.
But it's I mean, I'm looking at the position now after King E8. It's like white ran out of checks, right?
Yes, and I think it ran out of time as well. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Oh,
But it was not like, just move the rook and like ask. Well, okay, it was lost. But so many pawns, like I
yeah.
was thinking like maybe something's gonna happen, but no luck, no luck.
Mm.
Okay, so that means that NTU already won the match, right?
Yeah, yeah. No. Now it's 2-1 because Jude is from Jude is from NTU. So okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So NTU 1-3. Now they're 3-0 up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the last board is also like I think going in the same direction. Although I thought
I mean, they're playing on increments, so
yeah, and I thought it could have been done cleaner. Like for now,
mm.
it actually becomes a little more problematic to convert. How do you convert this? Well, that's not the way, I'm sure. um,
Mm.
he just lost a pawn that he won, right? I mean, okay, he's still at one pawn up, but let's maybe watch that because that's going to be the closest of all the games that are left, probably. So, but I think White has the chances to kind of hold for his dear life, like just draw back, yeah, d2, rook d2, right?
Yeah. I don't. I mean, it's gonna be quite a long game because black needs to use the e pawn, right? And
Yep.
can't really push the e pawn anywhere.
And there is a lot of weaknesses here for black as well, so
Yeah.
it's like kind of hard. B4, would you play b3 before as White?
But I think we're at different stages.
No, I'm
I'm at,
looking at that live. So you?
I'm at move 52, a black plays king b6 or
Okay.
b4 here.
Yeah, but okay. White just rook f2, and then black plays b5 before himself. Wow, that's a okay. I understand what he wants to do. So he wants
Yeah.
to. Okay, that was actually a good one. But now we can play, I don't know, like rook f7, which is just played.
I think you can just take in rook f7. Yeah, it's quite. I mean, now you exchange it for a pawn, right? Which doesn't help.
Um,
But
no, I think white
yeah,
black is still pushing because like now you just need to go drop back the king and start pushing the pawn.
that's true. Actually, I don't think you should play rook f7, right? Maybe like rook f8 and rook b8, so you don't give him the pass pawn.
I didn't see that, and I'm sure he didn't see it either. Like 5 seconds on the clock, so it's hard.
Yeah, but I think that just not giving the pass pawn is so much better. You're not playing
No, yeah, no,
immediately.
I agree, I agree. But now black, I think, has very good chances of actually converting that. So
Mm.
he just like king a4. Okay, he's actually dropping all the way back, which is I wouldn't do. A5. You can start. No, come on, just check, or attack it. Like you need to really. No, now it's all over. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
a4.
I think it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, black can
Yeah,
even play like something like rook d6 if I wanted to.
I think that's the most accurate, right? Because so that the king cannot come in.
Yeah. No, not.
And
Like, oh, okay. But he can actually check. Okay, king c3 is not going to help. You need to go back.
wait, I thought usually we don't push the pawn to a2, right?
No, you can. You could like the idea was like you could go king a1, cutting off the king on d6 on d file, and then you go rook b6. Sorry, like drop the rook to the first rank and rook b1, right?
Okay.
And by the way, for white, the best option is to keep the king closer to c2 pawn, so like not to allow it out. I don't know if he finds it or not, but that's the way to do it. Okay. Now it suddenly becomes interesting.
Yeah, it looks quite hard to win now because
it's not. I mean, you can start just attacking g3 pawn, like you go rook f6.
Yeah, that's true. Then rook f6.
Rook a6 is actually also okay. It's like
rook a6. Oh yeah.
But here it gets tricky. I was like thinking like rook a3 and rook f1, and suddenly black is lost. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think he's coming to this idea of rook f3 himself. Oh, look at that. No, it's not so simple, especially like on seconds. How would you win?
I think I'll go rook a6, rook a3. So now the king is given f2. Then I go rook c3. I mean,
no, like rook a6, I would play rook king e2. Rook
then
rook a3. I'm not in time. I'm not
then
in
rook
time.
c3, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in time. Yeah, you're right. Okay, like your method works. But I think he's doing something like that. So he's going to play probably rook g4, like kind of tried like rook b3. Wait a second, it's not working. Wait, no, why not rook b3? Come on, don't let yourself cut out.
Okay, now after rook e4.
No, I think you still need to kind of get these things together. Like you need to get rook c4 either way, and like just build a bridge.
Yeah.
I think both of them are kind of a little bit groggy, you know, like from so much play.
Yeah.
And by the way, at some point of time, because you're repeating the position so much, you might run into 3-time repetition.
That is true.
I'm telling you, it might happen. Yeah, just keep shuffling. If you're white, force your opponent to show something like, okay, king d2 now, king e2, or maybe c2 actually. There is always like a risk that black might forget about it. Oh my goodness, this is so interesting. Okay, I think it's going to for repetition. Yep, it is going to be a repetition. Yes. Okay. And I think that does it. I mean, I think that was actually it didn't really matter for the team, right? Because like they were winning 3.5 to 1.5. So sorry, 3.5 to just a half point. But yeah, it must be very challenging if you're a black player and you're a pawn up and completely winning, and then like suddenly you just run out of time.
The half point might still matter in the end, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, you're exactly on point. Like in the last round,
yeah,
that half a point can come back to haunt you eventually. So yeah, you're right. Actually, it can be. We don't know. I mean, like, but if let's say, imagine the situation where in the last round NTU is drawing their match, right?
Yeah.
And they become even by points. Oh no, but wait a second. Ministry of Health just drew their match as well, right?
Yeah. So if in the next round NTU draws and MOH wins by let's say 4-0, then they'll
no, it's not still no. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So let's say they win 4-0 and NTU draws a match, then it can come down to the points differential.
Yeah.
It might still happen. So there is still some what you call like intrigue in this tournament. So let's see if we have the results published, and we do. So let me actually see if I can get them published here. Where is that window with my results? Sorry, give me a second. There we are. So what do we have here is we are 3.5 to 1/2, 2-2. Ministry of Defense won their match 4-0, right? And okay, let's look at their ranking after 4 rounds. This is probably going to be the most interesting. Sorry, I'm looking at.
NTU is leading.
Okay. So ranking after 4 rounds. Yeah, 4 rounds. Okay, and make it a little bigger. So NTU is leading, but hey, you're actually right. So they are leading by match points, but they are behind on game points, like individual points. So like if NTU draws their match, and wait a second, Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Health, both of them are, actually I got them the other way around. So MinDef and Ministry of Health got to win their last match and hope that NTU stumbles.
Okay,
right?
no, but they can't both win because they're playing each other.
I didn't check that.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, you're right. So they are playing each other, and NTU is playing against Ministry of Sustainability and Environment, second team, which was actually doing quite well so far. So
they're like fourth. Yeah, they're fourth.
Yeah, so it's probably an outside chance, but it might still happen. You never know. So I think for Nanyang University, it's really like a very clear call to action: win the last match, and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And for the rest, so for Ministry of Health and Ministry of Defense first team, they just are, like basically, if Ministry of Defense draws the match, they are mathematically guaranteed second place, I think.
Yeah, because of the tie break.
Yes, so like they would be more game points, and even if, let's say, Ministry of Sustainability Environment wins the last round, which is also unlikely, then they will still be less on, like, tight on match points, but less on board points. So yeah, so I think it really comes down to these two matches in the last round. So this is going to be interesting, and they're all playing against each other, so that's very good. NTU is still the leaders, and they obviously have the highest probability of winning the whole competition.
Yeah.
Great. So I think this is also where we will take a break. So the last round is probably starting at 4 p.m. So I'm going to pause it here. And so, thank you, Junvei, for
Thank you for having me.
Joining me for this round. It's been fun. It's a little bit chaotic, like we have too many games and we cannot really look at all of them. But okay, like we decided to focus on the leaders. But yeah, at least there was some interesting games, and I hope that everyone who's watching that enjoyed it. And again, I will be back online in about 8-9 minutes for the last round. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day ahead. And for those that are watching the last round, please join me again in 8 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. While we are waiting for the last round to start, let's check the pairings. So we will see some interesting fights on the top board. Actually, while I'm thinking of this, how about we go through the memory lane and look at the past editions of this competition. Let me see if I can somehow get it out. Okay, please bear with me here as I'm struggling with technology. It's actually kind of funny to say it about yourself, right? So. Okay, trying to do it some other way. All right, so that must work. Let me just make it a little different here so that we can see everything. Okay, I hope that works. So the final round is starting, but we will probably get back there a little later. So I wanted to share with you some interesting clippings from the past events, right? So that were kindly shared with me. And I wanted to kind of walk you through the history of this competition. Again, probably not the whole history of all competitions, but some. And just to get an idea of how it was taking place in the past, let's say before COVID. And this is one of those examples of reports last year of the competition. And as I was mentioning, Ministry of Health was really dominating this competition for 6 years in a row. I think they were winning. And already last year, you will see here, they were also, the runner-up was Nanyang Technological University. And yeah, the team of Ministry of Health this year, unfortunately, is really kind of weakened by the absence of Dr. Niti. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it today to participate. And last year, his contribution was really important there as well. And Daniel Chandler, we saw him playing today on board 2 for Ministry of Health. He was also playing last year, and as you see here with him and Dr. Raymond Lin, they won all of their games in this competition. So that's probably, together with the leadership of like Suli Yang, that was enough to really kind of almost sweep the competition. Although they did tie the match with NTU then that time as well. So that was 2019. And in like actually, if you just go back through the history, you will see a lot of these similar stories, like with Ministry of Health winning the sometimes close, sometimes in a really kind of dominating performance. But I wanted to actually walk you back all the way to 2010, so 10 years ago, and that was Ministry of Education. I think first, but not the only time that they won. So there was a streak also, like somehow in this competition there were a lot of streaks of the different ministries winning. So, and I think for the past decade, it was literally just Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education who were kind of first Ministry of Education won a couple of years in a row, and then it was Ministry of Health, like I was mentioned, 6 years in a row. But there were a lot of times, and yeah, you will see here some of the familiar faces here. For example, Junior Tay, who was helping the Ministry of Education at the time, famous people in within their Singapore chess circuit, so to speak. I don't have the reports that are older, even though like I was really like thankful for the team behind this event this year that actually took the effort of digging through the old archives and finding all of these reports. I decided I simply must share it because it really gives you a glimpse into the history of this competition. We had like these clippings for the last 10 years, but the competition goes way much longer. So the first report that we found, I think, was 2000, and the absolute first event apparently took place all the way back in 1997 and won by the HDB team. So there you have it. It's really a competition with a long and interesting, glorious history. So, and I'm really, really happy that even though it's taking place online this time around, but it is taking place, and we are not really like skipping 2020, like unfortunately I had to do in many other places and events. So really important to keep the tradition alive. So really appreciate everyone for participating today. Right. So I think with that, let's switch back to our competition. Okay, I was just logged off, and that's a bit unfortunate. Let me restore my favorite magic spell that gets us our games online. And let's see where we stand today. All right, so the games are starting. So I think we will probably, yep, I think that we are probably only a couple of minutes late into the start of the round, so hopefully nothing major has happened yet. And okay, the first game to appear here was actually the game played in the match between Ministry of Health and Ministry of Defense, first team. So let's just start then with this match, because that's going to be decisive, at least for the silver medal, and if NTU slips up, then also for the gold medal. So yeah, I think it's actually okay. So far the position is pretty standard, but I would Dr. Suli Young is white, and yeah, I think it's clearly a big advantage for white. I think black kind of misplayed it a little. So like usually if white is able to set up this structure, he's already in a good shape. And usually like white just doesn't have time to get like this is perfect structure with bishop on e3, and like often you have to play knight f3 to g2 before bishop was able to left c1 square. So right now white is obviously better, but it's still okay. It's not the end of the game, obviously, and white still need to crash through on queen side. So usually the game like King's Indian, black is playing on the king side, white is playing on the queen side, and like it's a game of who's faster. Obviously right now white is faster. The idea of the last move is like black can take the pawns, but then you cannot take after that one more time with the knight because the knight is pinned, right? So that's and that makes it life really unpleasant for black because like you after that b5 it becomes a threat. It's well, okay, maybe it's not immediately a threat, but okay, white is obviously achieving everything it wanted on this plank before black has time to do anything on his side of the board. So yeah, I think white is a little better here. Well, maybe a lot better for that matter. So second board is Francis Teo with white versus Daniel Chander with black. And this is actually kind of again like we already saw Daniel playing this variation with black. It's like it's I don't even know like the theory here, but obviously the only way to challenge black's concept was to play e5. Okay, that's too much. Sorry, I need to press once again. a5, and then the variations like goes like knight d5, queen g4, take the some craziness. I don't pretend to know it in detail, but I'm pretty sure that's what white needs to do if he wants to challenge black's concept. Bishop b3 after black doesn't have any problems whatsoever. It's basically he's getting a very nice French defense version. Knight bishop on d3 is misplaced, and so you see here he already had to take. So black is very comfortable. Knight c5 is also like a standard. You want to exchange this bishop, and then because then it would create opportunity for this bishop, either a6 or maybe a b7 on this diagonal, like after that, like maybe c5, d4. So black is okay, but okay doesn't mean that that's the end of the game. So we'll return to that eventually. Third board is so Li and Earn with white, Go Young Han with black, and looks very equalish to me. Like actually, if you ask me which side I would prefer here, I wouldn't even know because very equal. I mean, probably black. Also, like but we'll see. I mean, to be honest, anything can happen here. So I think this is enough for us to kind of take the first glimpse. And the last board, so Victor Huang with white against Asman Tio with black. More Gambit, again, we already see that. Played, I think, by Victor earlier today. E6. I think white is already doing pretty well here. After E6, like I don't see why we cannot take on B7, and black is really in a world of trouble. How do you even defend that? Because the problem is you don't have time to take on F3 because C6 is hanging and it's a check, right? Okay, that's a good one, but white can play bishop A6, which is also the standard trick in these positions. By the way, it's not the only thing white can do. He can also take on C8 and then play bishop A6. So white is very, very maybe winning if he's playing it right. I don't know. I would play like I would try bishop A6 probably. Yeah, okay. White has done it. The problem is like you cannot take on B7. White takes on B7, and then you're attacking on both C6 and A8. And right now C8 is hanging. So maybe E5 is the move that I would suggest for black. I think that's probably the only move that kind of works for the moment. But after that, knight B5 is coming. No, I think white is winning, really. I think white is winning this. Again, if everything is played the way I think it should be played. Okay, so with that, let maybe check the leaders. So NTU, have they already started playing? I cannot find it in this view, so let's maybe. I wonder why. Give me a moment. So let me actually do this. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, that's better. So we're going to stick with this one. This is Julian, and uh, sorry, I'm checking that everything is. I think half of the things that I was doing today is really just kind of replaying the same commands over and over again. So let's see. For some reason I cannot get that thing to work. 1 second. So the problem is I cannot see the games from NTU other than the field board, and that's not what that's not gonna cut it. So we really need it. Hmm. This is really weird. Um, Apologies. I'm really like it looks like my brain is not functioning as well as it should today. Okay. Okay, let's do it the other way. Let's move back to this one. Refresh this one. And actions. So we have this game, and now we are looking for. I don't see the game by Alexandru Krivoy. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's already over. That's why I couldn't find it. Wow, that was quick. That was very quick. So that was actually what was kept me kind of from looking at that, and wow, that was very. So Evans Gambit, and something went very wrong for White here. Okay, I think he wanted to really attack at his side, but it was not really working for him. And I think very quickly Black was already on the counter. Check, check. Okay, he took with the king, but then White just walked into the trap, so like he cannot take on f7 because it's protected, and after that Rook d1 is coming. Wow, that was very quick, and actually that's the reason why I didn't see that. Let's just check some other games. So okay. So that's a third board on NTU, Jude from the versus Hans Huang, right? Yep, that's the one. Okay, finally, at least we are looking at the games rather than just me scrolling and trying to fight with the technology. So white is definitely better. Lots of space. Black king is a bit troublesome, but it's not over yet, right? So I don't like knight g7 at all. I mean, like I would never do that unless you can also like, yeah, okay, maybe that's why. But like knight h7 here, and white is not winning the pawn on g5. So like this move, right? And white just traded his fantastic, wonderful knight for a really lousy bishop. The bishop was really stuck there on g7. It was not doing anything. So white just probably diminished his advantage. He's still better. But it's not as much better, and it used to be just like a move ago. So yeah, okay. So that's okay. So let's check the first board. So this one for NTU Shashi Jayakumar. Okay, well here white is definitely better simply because he's more organized, connected, and I don't like the knight on e5 that much. Maybe there is already some tactics that works, although I don't see one yet. But like I would play something like, like queen a6 is interesting, or maybe bishop f4, or maybe even, no, like, okay, that's too slow. There's got to be something here. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm kind of overestimating the chances for white. Can also be the case. Yeah, I've known to do that. Okay, but I think like here white is at least not worse. That's for very sure. And the last board also seems like the last board in this match has already, yep, that already finished. And it finished with a victory actually for Ministry of Sustainability, right? So wow, that's very unusual position there on the last move, by the way. So oh wow, that's an interesting. I know this variation. I used to play it with black. I think you have to take with the bishop here and not with the knight. So that okay. Well, that was already. Well, it's not the end of the world for black, but it's not great either. And okay, he won the pawn. Okay, he won back. Black position is a mess, and eventually, somehow, apparently, black didn't save it. Okay, so that's 1 point each for NTU and MSE. So that means that the match will be decided in the 2 remaining games. So this game, which seems to be about equal to me, and this game, where I was saying that white was better, but not as better as it probably should have been. But okay, I'm looking at this position. I'm still thinking like white is very comfortably better. There is no way around it. Yeah, like you can just pick up the pawn on e7, for example. This one, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Yeah, I think we can just take it. The only way, no, it actually doesn't work. So if you're black, you probably want to at least kind of start fighting for g files, like play like something like rook f7, rook d7. And there are practical chances like white king is a little bit exposed, but so will be black king as well. And by the way, oh, I don't like rook d1 that much. Maybe he wants to play queen a, but that's not going to get him anywhere. Yeah, I think black is really struggling. Knight on h7, look at this piece. So, okay, it will take quite a while for it to get back into the game because there is only one square that's available, which is f8. Well, it's not even technically available right now. Yeah, I would just probably play rook d7 check, exchange, go like queen c5, then take the other rook, the other bishop to c4. It's probably should be enough for winning. So I would guess that white is probably winning in this game. This game, though, anything can happen. So I think it's still unclear whether NTU is going to win this match. Not yet, at least, which is very interesting. So let's get back to the other match. Oh wow! Look at that! So much happening here. Material, but that's what we have with the material. So white is exchange for well, a lot of pawns. So white is in exchange down, but he has 1, 2, 3 pawns for that, which is more than enough. And black position is a mess, a real mess. So I think white is winning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure white is winning. So also, like, you can start getting these bishop somewhere here to e6, or maybe like just start pushing the pawn. Knight on d5 is a monster. Black is struggling. I don't think you can survive. I think like the only move you can play here is like knight c7. It's not going to get you anywhere. So like white can just play rook, bishop f3, for example, and then you can't even exchange. No, it's hard. White is winning. Daniel Chander on the second board. Oh, look at that. That's an interesting transformation. So what happened here? So they did exchange, like we were discussing that. And then something happened. Okay. I mean, white would be fine if not for the king in the center. So that's a challenge. You need to solve it somehow. I think you probably need to take on b4, but even though I don't want to, yeah, white is probably worse here, much worse. How would you try to save it? Like maybe try to go like bishop b4, and then if black takes, you with a pawn, you try to exchange the queens and hope that you are in time. But I'm afraid that c pawn will fall. Actually, let me show it on the board. So the idea was like this: take, queen f5, queen f2. Black doesn't have to take, but let's say I want to. No, it's actually not that good. I think like rook a2, but okay, the king f3. This pawn is also a pass pawn, right? So it's actually not that simple. So maybe that's a way to do it. Queen f2, and if you don't take, I will castle. Yeah, maybe it's not that bad. Okay. So probably that's what I would have done it here. Where was that game? That was Sulian. Okay, that's exactly what's happening. So like I wonder if white is playing queen f2 now or not. Oh, he does. Okay, so still some play there. That was also the game that finished, and that finished for just checking the list. So Minister of Defense player on the 4th board actually won it, right? Yes. So Victor Huang won it. Yeah, that's the game that, remember, like that was our Mora Gambit, and basically white just emerged the full rook up. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to survive after that. So Mindev scored the point here. What about this game? And another point for Mindev, I think. So they already have 2 points. So probably I gather that this match is going to end either in a draw or victory for Mindev, right? So for on the first board, I fully expect the international master to win it. Okay, and he does it in an interesting way, so he allows check on the last rank. I think knight f6 is also an interesting thing here. I don't know if it's winning immediately, but I think it does. Knight f6 and then knight d7, you know? So like you can't move right because then it's a checkmate, queen h7. And if you go left, which is probably what you have to do, then knight d7 check, and at least you won back the in exchange. But actually you won it all after, because after that you also this pawn is queening. Like there's, okay, let me show it also on the board. So the idea is like queen f6, can't go here because of the mate. Can't go left. Well, you can go left, but then I check. It's a fork. Wait, that's too many arrows. So you got a take, and white is threatening queen e8 mate. Well, it's mate and everything. Also, queen f7 mate. I forgot about that. And the only thing that black can do is like one spy check, but okay, that's bishop f1, and that's it. So I think that's the end. And let's see if that's already on a board. Where we were. Okay, no, he played h4. Wow, interesting. So I wonder, maybe he's enjoying his position too much. I don't know. The variation that I was showing looked really bulletproof to me. But okay, white is still winning. And the last chance for the Ministry of Health to save this match is winning both games, on the first and the second board. And they might actually still do it. Rook c8, another rook on c1. So like basically white is hoping, like praying for, oh no, it doesn't work. So like basically rook c8 now. And the idea is like if you go, again, like maybe let me put it on the board. So rook c8, I want to take the pawn here, right? Although white can attack on b3, but I will then defend it. Yeah. That's not so easy. But okay, like the variation I wanted to show on the board was this: check, 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 whatever, capture, 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 and boom. So that's you have to give back. You have to give the queen. But okay, so white can play queen b2 instead, or maybe even queen f3. Funnily enough. So the idea is like now if you just exchange them, then it's about drawish. I mean, white like it's still probably better, but doesn't matter. It's a draw. So then you need to defend it. Then white defends it, and you always like every time you can exchange this pawn for this pawn, like white is happy. Let's see if that's happening on the boards. Let's see if it's happening on the boards. Oh look, actually they did, and black didn't even push that. Like he just took the pawn. I think that was wrong. That he shouldn't have done it. That was kind of giving up too easily. And also like white doesn't even like relinquish control of the second rank. So yeah, I think that's probably was a missed opportunity. White is fine now. White is fine. Okay. So let's see what's happening here. What's happening here? White is winning, but not as winning as he was in the variation that I was showing before. Knight e5 probably I would play here. Okay, that's actually stronger. He just wants to queen g6 mate, and maybe there is no defense actually. That shouldn't help. Queen h6 is just mate, right? Yep, it is mate. The next move is going to be queen h8. So we're just going to witness that about now. Yay! Right. So that makes the score 1-2 in this match. And so it's really down to this game, and like have to win it if Ministry of Health is going to save the match. On the other hand, let's see what's happening in the other critical match. So that one game, and there was another one which probably is already over. Yep, the other game. So like NTU is 2-1 up right now. So remember, like this game where I was kind of criticizing the look at that, like it's a horrible structure for black. Oh, and he also blundered the queen in one move. That's obviously unfortunate, but probably the game was, well, you would still play knight b8 obviously here and kind of try to hold out for a little longer. Actually, maybe it's not that bad. Actually, queen b8. Look at that. Wait a second. Why queen e2 here? It's like you can play queen e2 and then suddenly that thing. Yeah. So if instead of c5, I think black just missed. And by the way, black fought for almost a minute here, 38 seconds. Unfortunately, he didn't see it, or like it could have been actually anybody's games after. Yeah, I think it could have been anybody's games after queen e2. Okay, didn't happen. So in this match, it really comes down to one last board. And while I was talking, actually, it is. I don't even know what's happening here. Like d7, you got to probably play. No, he played knight c5. But what if black plays? Oh, that's a smart one. So he wants to play d7. Like if black plays rook b1 here, now black plays, I think d7 is coming. And suddenly it's very bad for black. Oh, look at that. Whoa. Why? Wait, what? No, sorry, I'm not following. Now black is, now white is just lost. What happened? Give me a second. Sorry, I for my own peace of mind, I gotta check what was going on here. Like, I thought the idea was to play d7. And actually, I don't see how to save the game now for black, because if you play like you cannot take like white queens with check, right? So you have to play rook d2, but then rook c2 is a killer, because again you cannot take by just queen, right? And if you don't take, then you just lost your main the key resource you had, and like okay, you have to go back, let's say rook d5 and rook bishop c7, and yeah, like you're up in two pieces for nothing. Oh my goodness, what did just happen here? Okay, now black is winning. Oh, whoa, wait a second. What was happening again? Oh, wow. Up to d7, he should have done it the other way around. He should have done rook d1. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, yo. So he played rook d1, he did. But after knight e6, he didn't take the pawn. Why? There's not even a check. Oh my goodness, that must be just the stress of the last round, really. So he just... This is scary. I mean, chess is a cruel game. Okay, black is still better, but because, and to be honest, objectively probably just winning, because with this pass pawn, but in the moment he allowed white to create this kind of a block on a3, he could probably have prevented. I'm pretty sure he could have prevented it. But the moment he allowed white to build at least this, it becomes not so easy. Wow, quite. Yeah, and it's like, how do... Okay, no, you should have played h5 here, of course. Okay, absolutely anything can still happen in this game. That's my official verdict. And now suddenly, whoa. And now, rook. No, I'm not sure. No, white. Yeah, white doesn't have to give. And now you want to play maybe. What do you want to play? Rook d8 I would play instead, actually. Okay, now white is doing okay again. You can win a pawn. Okay, that's knight c4. Probably it's gonna happen. Okay, knight b5 instead. Rook g4 gotta happen. You need to win one pawn at least. You want to win it back, you know? No, he doesn't see it. Oh my. That was a lot of blunders, truth be told. And I still don't know how it's going to end. So, like that's what's amazing about chess, really. Like I have no idea. Like probably knight king e4 is probably the move. Yep. And now probably, yeah, that's also right. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure what black is trying to achieve, but okay, it doesn't really matter. Like they're, by the way, like they actually have much more time than I thought. Like by the way, here queen f7, and after that a3, and I think white is just losing again. So not the first time, not the last time, probably. a3, come on, push it. Yeah, it's a pass pawn. It's got to be pushed. And white is probably best served, yes, by giving it up. So he needs to take and now try to build some kind of fortress. But I would play like something like rook h3 here. By the way, rook a3 is also good. Wait a second, rook a3. He played rook a4, which is about the same, I would say. Knight king e6. He needs to attack that. My goodness, this is so dramatic. This is crazy. And remember that this is the deciding game in this match. So if black wins, if I got the math right, Ministry of Health is tying the match, right? I mean, okay, that's probably still not gonna change anything for them really in the final standings because the if I remember correctly, Minister of Defense had more points, board points. Like you need. Oh wow, that's an interesting one. Then you check. You need to check. Yeah, okay, that was apparently obvious enough. Okay, now you need to push. Black is winning. Okay, well, that's okay. You can also do that. Although I'm not sure I really. Okay, maybe, sure. But although like on g4 it was actually better played because like it supported the pawn push. You gotta push the pawn. It's not happening otherwise. By the way, I almost see like rook g4, knight g6, f5, and after that, you see like for example now like white plays knight g6, and I think by the way it's the most logical move anyway. You see like for example knight g6, rook g4, knight g6, f4, knight e5, and suddenly white is winning because it's a fork. Will it happen? Oh my goodness, I think it's gonna happen. No way. Just don't blunder f4. I mean, come on. Okay, well, he didn't blunder f4, but now white can start pushing this side. Well, that kind of makes sense. And I think white can lose the pawn that way. Oops. Yep, and after h6, and you don't have anything else but h6. Black plays, actually, rook a7. And you pin the knight, or you can win the pawn. No, white is toast. White is finally toast. Rook a7, come on. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Yep. I think Winston is winning. Oh, and by the way, I completely misplaced that game. I was actually, I'm mentally, I'm still in like Ministry of Health versus MinDev, but that was actually NTU versus MSE. Oh my. All right. So, okay. So it did finish. My goodness. This is so. Did we just saw 2-2? Give me a second. Give me a second. So Shashi lost. Alexandro, I think, won, right? Yeah, like that was the Evans gambit that went wrong. So 1-1. Then Jude Front on third board won. And the last question was like how that game Li Longxian won. So it is 2-2. Guys, I think we have a draw in this match. If I didn't misplace any numbers, it's 2-2. And now the more interesting question, so how did the other match end up, right? Because if any of these team, MinDef or Ministry of Health, is winning, they might be actually claiming the top honors. Aren't they? I don't think we have the official numbers yet, so let's check. So Suliang won, we remember that, he made it. And then Francis Teo versus Francis Teo, Francis won, so that's 1-1. Then Li Qian Earn lost, so it's 1-2 for MinDev. And Victor Huang, I think it's, give me a second. The last one, Victor Huang, also won. So it's 3-1. So MinDev won 3-1, right? So I think they might be emerging as the winner of the competition. If I got everything right, they were looking at the Ministry of Defense team winning this competition. Now that's amazing, and all of that because of this game that we were just watching. All of this because of the game that could go either way many times over. Remember, like when we were looking at this, and I was like complaining that black positions looks rather loose, and but okay, there were a lot of twists and turns along the way. And okay, here I really think White was just winning. You know, like if these, like that was the critical moment. The moment if you're playing D7, I think Black is just lost. Right? Remember, like this variation that was showing Rook D2, Rook C2, and that's it, basically. Yeah, and it's actually showing like +8. Okay, so like for once I'm checking with the computer because like I no longer can trust myself at this late hour. But okay, so the results are out, and let me just show them. Let me switch to another view, and so yeah, so NTU and so I think the key result of the last round was actually, and the most unexpected result of the last round, to be honest, was that that Ministry of Sustainability and Environment drew the match with the leader. That was thanks to that game that we were just watching. That was pretty amazing. And okay, and MinDef won. So they only lost on the first board, but won on all the others. Okay, so final cross ranking. Well, I was right. So, wow, look at that. And unbelievable. By the way, you know, the interesting question I have looking at this table is also, so Ministry of Defense, first team won, and we just need to congratulate them. This is fantastic comeback in last moment, so to speak, right? Like, and they lost in the first round, but basically after that they demolished the competition in the rest of that. I think they, yeah. So NTU was just a little bit unlucky that last game. that could have gone either way, and I'm sure it's going to be a bit of a recurring dream, unfortunately, a nightmare dream for the first board player, D7. That happens in chess. But the interesting question is also like, I don't know what's the score for the third, like who is the bronze medal, because like look at that, they are looking at exactly the same tiebreakers, aren't they? Right? So they have 6 match points each. They have the same number of boards points, 12, and they actually drew each other in a match, right? Like they were playing 2-2, like so. I need to check with the organizers into who actually scored the bronze medal, or if they're awarding 2 bronze medals in these stars. I don't know. By the way, also the other teams were very, very close. Like if you're looking, it's a huge split for third place. So like Attorney General's office and the second Ministry of Defense team, they are also coming in at the same number of board points. And like in the case of AGC, they were just literally half a point board points here. Like just make it maybe a little bigger. Let's see, so that we all looking at like you see, like that's difference, right? Like half a point board point, that would make a difference between. Yeah, I remember like we were talking with Junvei about like that half a point in the previous round. That I mean, okay, probably in this case it wouldn't make or break. The difference between board points in NTU and MinDef was like 1.5 points. Wow, so much excitement and drama, unbelievable. So I don't know actually what's the final. Let me just ask a question. Who is bronze medal? So like the same match points and board points and tied match. So that's. But yeah, I guess we'll find it out eventually. So I don't know, like if you're finding it out at the end of this broadcast, so to speak, like, and it's kind of really, I don't want to check out without without finding it out and kind of announcing it on air. But yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I haven't seen it actually much before. Like it's also usually when you're in the competitions and you already have like 3 different tiebreakers. Usually that's better than that's enough of. So the sum of I'm told like the next tiebreaker is the sum of match points of teams. I don't know like what it is. So Junior Tay is actually posting on that WhatsApp group. Okay, it could be that I will have to sign off without announcing the final results. But again, I think we had enough excitement today. So, and maybe we will, maybe we will just leave it as a cliffhanger, like they're doing that on TV shows, like, like you need to come back and watch this page, like sign up for the next season. And definitely, yeah, like I think that was really, like, I did not expect the competition to be so close. Like, really, to be completely transparent, I was kind of expecting one or the other team to kind of run away with it all, because usually that's what happens. But it was a very, very close competition. And guess what? We have a new champion. I mean, I in the historical research that I've seen, like I don't remember Ministry of Defense coming across. Maybe it was like in those years before 2010 that I haven't seen. So and like Nanyang University must be really kind of upset right now. Like they were that close to winning it all, like after being a runner-up for a couple of years. But yeah, I guess it was not to be. And well, good luck next year. And yeah, I think this is like this is the moment where I am checking out. Thanks everyone for watching that. I really appreciate your attention. I hope that you enjoyed it. And as a reminder, so that this competition is really like we're doing that for for chess. We're doing that for public service organizations here in Singapore. We're also doing that for the greater good. We are really hoping that this will help to drive awareness and also to support the charity organizations that we were doing like as part of the campaign throughout the whole 2020 chess against COVID. So yeah, and with that, thank everyone who was listening to this and watching. Thank you for Junwei for commentating on the fourth round together with me. If you still want more chess, as a reminder, the Singapore National Championship right now is taking place in parallel, which is also like one of the reasons why, unfortunately, some of the players probably could not make it. And I was hoping to get some of them as guests today on the show, but like they are busy preparing for the round. I think it is starting today. So like the championships are played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you can check them out online on Chess Results. They are publishing the results. And yeah, like root for your favorite players. So chess doesn't stop in Singapore after this competition. So once again, thank you everyone, and congratulations to the winners. I don't know who won the bronze medal. So yeah, thanks everyone, and goodbye. Have a nice day ahead.